Okay. Oh Christ. Okay. I just saw a movie called Good Time, starring Robert Pattinson, and and it's made by a studio or a movie company called A24. And after having seen other movies released by this company, I think I figured out what A24 stands for. Okay, A24 stands for about 24 minutes because that's all I can take before I give up on how goddamn these. I can't even last a half an hour. And this, 24 minutes is about all I can handle from these movies before I tune out because I can't handle it anymore. Okay, these are some of the most pretentious, hollow movies I have. I, for for those of you, okay, for those of you who like this movie, okay, you are the type of person, okay, the type of person that likes this movie is the type of person who will go to a modern art gallery, okay, see a broom leaning against the wall and go, let's spend the next 10 minutes trying to interpret what the meaning of a broom against a wall is, and have all these various pretentious bullshit pseudo-intellectual discussions, and up until the janitor comes, grabs the broom that he laid there and starts sweeping to literally establish how full of shit your interpretation and your analysis of the modern art was. That's this movie. This not only is this a hollow, pretentious bullshit movie, it has more plot conveniences, okay, than Kong versus Godzilla. Okay, the level of suspension of disbelief that is necessary to get through this movie, just the first 24 minutes, mind you, is it. Okay, so first of all, Robert Pattinson plays a character named Connie. Okay, and he has a what's the politically correct term I'm allowed to use? Mentally handicapped, mentally disabled brother named Nick. Now, this movie is all about we have a story idea and we don't give a shit how we're going to get it to happen. We're going to make it happen. And the level of suspension of disbelief that is necessary makes believing a radioactive spider can give some kid superhuman abilities pales in comparison, okay? Because you have Connie, okay, who wants to rob a bank, okay? And here's the thing. He asks for $65,000. Now, I'm going, okay, wait a minute. Why does Nick want to rob the bank? Is he in financial situation? Does he need the money? Does he have a job? What are the reasons, okay, why Connie wanted to rob a bank? There is none. There is none because the movie goes, we need him to rob the bank so that his brother can get arrested. That's all the movie gives a shit about, okay? So he goes to the teller and goes, give me $65,000, okay? The teller goes into the machine, right? Opened up, and all she's got is whatever's in the register, right? And he goes, go get the $65,000. So the teller literally leaves. The teller leaves, okay, goes out, leaves into another room, and then comes back with the money and goes here, right? Because they have to have the $65,000 and they have to have it so that she puts the die pack in the bag, right? So they leave. Now, they had these disguises or whatever. They go, they take off what do they call it? Like the work, the neon suit type suit. They take them off and they got their suit underneath, right? And they go into a car and the die pack explodes. There's red all over them, all over their face, all over their clothes. Okay, so here's what they do. They are now walking on the street, okay, all covered in red. Nobody finds this suspicious at all because it's a crowded street. Nobody finds it suspicious. They walk into like a fast food restaurant. I don't know what it is. Nobody in there has a problem with them all being covered in red and seeing nothing wrong. Then they go into the bathroom and they wash up. Now, outside the door is obviously the manager going, get out, you have to buy something, They wash up, right? He hides the bag of the money, right? Okay, now, here's the thing. He takes off their outer clothing. He takes off. Nick is wearing army fatigues, and it's all covered in red. And Connie's character takes off his fatigues, okay, and he has a pair of pants underneath, or like jogging pants. And Connie, the movie, has the actual balls to have Connie say, "This is why we did it." Wait a minute, Connie. So let me see if I get this straight. You actually expected for you to say that the reason you had an extra set of clothes underneath his fatigues was because you expected there to be a dye pack in the money and it was going to explode, but then when it happened, you had no idea what was going on. You had no idea. But here's the reason why. Here's the reason why they had the scene of Connie take off Nick's fatigues to show the sweatpants underneath. Because in the next scene, they are now outside wearing a new hoodie, new jacket, a new hat. Where did they get their new change of clothes from? Don't ask these stupid ass questions because the movie doesn't goddamn know. The movie needed it so that Nick and Connie, okay, were able to leave the fast food restaurant and be able to walk the street. How did they get the new clothes and the new hoodie and the new jacket to be able to go out? Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? Because then if you actually apply any level of logic or any sense of a suspension of disbelief, the movie goes out the fucking window. But here's the reason. But here's the thing. The reason the movie had it so that they had new clothes, okay, was so that they could walk. Oh, not only that, why did Nick, now here's the thing. Because Nick is mentally handicapped, that is the key element of the whole story. Okay, because why would Connie need to bring his brother along? None. There was literally no reason for Connie to have his brother along in robbing the bank. But the movie needed to have Nick be there so that way Nick could be arrested. That's the plot of this movie. Okay? It is such forced bullshit and such inane writing. Okay, so now you have Nick and Connie now walking the street. Well, they were wearing disguises. That's gone. They're wearing all new clothes. So there is literally nothing to establish any level of suspicion to Nick and Connie. But but the movie needs there to be something. Otherwise, there's no story. So what happens? They have a police car drive by and decide to stop and question them for no reason. Nothing was established for this police car to stop by, do a U-ey, and go ask them questions. But the movie needed that to happen. Otherwise, you wouldn't have a movie. Then you have Nick, okay, who decides to run. Well, why would Nick run? He really doesn't even know what's going on. He doesn't even know he's in. Again, he is mentally handicapped. He doesn't even really know that they robbed the bank. They don't even know they robbed the bank. As far as they're concerned, they did nothing wrong. So why does Nick run? Well, because the movie needs to have it so that Nick gets arrested. And the movie doesn't give a shit how absolutely bullshit stupid it requires to actually get that to happen. So then Nick and Connie are now running, okay? Now, they start running and they're going through a mall or whatever. Now, Connie is ahead of Nick okay? And he goes to a sliding door and starts running. And what happens is Nick goes, follows him, okay, and smashes through the window, which apparently his brother, okay, Nick, did not hear the glass shattering, didn't hear the glass shattering, is running at full speed with this full expectation, okay, that his brother is still behind him. Didn't hear his brother smash through the glass window, didn't look back to see if his brother was still following or anything, nothing. Okay, if the movie at least had him turn around and see his brother with the cops around, and then he went, oh crap, and then he escaped, that would be fine. But the writers, and this movie is so goddamn lazy and bullshit. We don't have to care. If you're willing to accept every other bullshit in this movie, why would we actually pay any attention of actually having that his brother, Nick, even cares about his brother, Connie, cares about his brother, Nick? Then the cops arrest him. For what? For what? There's no dye on him. There's no more of the red dye, okay? Because they washed it all off. There's no way they could identify him as the guys who robbed the bank, because there's nothing to do. Nick is mentally handicapped. He can barely express himself. So what were they arresting him for? Who gives a shit? The movie needs it so that Nick is arrested, and the movie doesn't give a shit how forced and stupid and ridiculous the circumstances are established so that Nick gets arrested. Okay? Nick's got to get arrested. We don't give a shit how he gets arrested. He needs to get arrested, otherwise there's no movie. The level of plot convenience in this film rivals, Kong versus Godzilla. Okay, I'm sorry. Then, this is what broke me. This is what broke me. So now, Connie goes back to the fast food restaurant, grabs the sack of money that he stashed, and goes to a bail bondsman. He goes to a bail bondsman with a bag full of money covered with dye. And the bail bondsman, okay, goes, yeah, let me sort through this obviously stolen money. Let me sort through this obviously stolen money with red dye on the edges and everything, and let me just take the money that is most likely viable. Why would a bail bondsman not accept money from an obvious bank robbery? Sure, why not? Why not just have a Minotaur on wings fly and rescue Nick from prison? It's just as ridiculous. Then with all the money that he was able to grab from the $65,000, which we have no idea why he needs, because apparently he just needed $65,000, because that way there'd be the reason the movie had it so that Connie robbed $65,000 is because they figured that was roughly $15,000 was roughly the amount that would actually be salvageable, so that he could have to get another $10,000. So $15,000, okay, is what was usable of the stolen bank money, okay? Then the bail bondsman tells Nick he needs another $10,000. So let me see if I get this straight. Nick, okay, has been arrested for what? We don't know, because apparently the next scene is just Nick in jail. How did Nick get arrested? What was he charged with? Nobody knows. They literally have the lawyer and I guess a social worker, whatever, talking to Nick, and nobody knows what Nick is actually charged with. Well, the movie can't establish what Nick is charged with because there's nothing to charge Nick with. But who gives a shit? We need Nick in jail so that we can have Connie's story on trying to free him. And so apparently, so he's not charged with anything. We have no idea what he's charged with. But apparently, bail is set at $25,000. For what? Who gives a shit? At that point, I went, I don't give a shit about this movie anymore because a minotaur with wings could suddenly come down and give Connie a golden sword and say, "Here, sell this," and it would make just about as much sense as anything else that's already happening in less than the first 24 minutes of this movie. This is insane. What? This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. What are you gonna get out of this movie? You literally need more suspension of disbelief. You need less suspension of disbelief in a superhero movie. Okay? You need less suspension of disbelief in a Star Wars film than you do in Good Times. You literally have to you have to establish that story, plot, continuity, okay, plot convenience, plot holes have absolutely no business being part of a movie. You can do whatever the hell you want. It's just, oh my God. This is such, like, A24 is literally the poster boy for pretentious, hollow, empty, nothing movies, which is not a big problem because apparently that's what their target audience is. Pretentious, hollow, empty, pseudo-intellectual moviegoers who think they know what the hell they're doing. This is sad. This is a joke of a movie. This is a joke of a movie. You literally have to shut your brain off and go, yeah, movie, do whatever you want, because apparently, so I decided to check out a summary, okay? I decided to check out a summary to find out what the hell happens in this movie or whether it's even worth it or not. At the end of the movie, he doesn't end up freeing his brother, and he ends up going to a therapy session. So, like, you're doing all this to get the 10,000. It's literally a comedy of errors. This movie is a comedy of errors, pretending to actually have some level of value whatsoever. This is, oh my God. If any movie, if you see a trailer and it's done by A24, it is literally a red flag of that trailer telling you, this is a pretentious, hollow, empty movie. Don't bother. It ain't worth it. Same company that did The Lighthouse. I rest my case. Oh, Christ. I broke down and I finally watched this dumbass movie. I knew it was gonna be a piece of shit going in. I knew it was gonna be a piece of shit going in. But I gave it a chance. And it just did nothing but constantly prove that A24, okay, this movie company or whatever, it literally it makes films no other studio would touch. That's the scripts it gets. It's not like it gets the best writers and the best script writers and the best story. A24, okay, basically dumpster dives, okay, the big studios going through their garbage, grabbing scripts and going, hey, let's do that. That's how A24 makes chooses what movies they make. Whatever script they can find in a dumpster, and they go, let's do that. Oh, Christ. Yeah, there's nothing else to say about this movie because it's a nothing movie. But I'll tell you what, let's take out all the stupid plot conveniences. Let's take out the fact that there is literally nothing that this movie does to have us even give a shit about Connie. We don't give a shit because the movie decided, why should we actually have the audience care about Nick or care about Connie? That's not important. All we care about is the story that we're forcing down your throat, and we don't give a shit how it is. So I don't care about Nick. I don't care about Connie because the movie doesn't do anything to actually provide it. And the thing is, I didn't even want to watch this movie because I knew it was going to be a piece of shit. You want to know how I knew I wasn't going to be able to handle this movie? I couldn't even make it through the goddamn trailer. Okay, I couldn't even make it through the trailer because it's such an empty movie. It's such a nothing movie. But because a bunch of people had, wanted me to watch it and review it, I did because I'm such a caring, nice guy. I decided to, acquiesce and, do it. And you know what? Here's the thing about this is because I'll watch other YouTubers going, if you want me to watch a movie and you want to see my reaction to it, please put a comment below and suggest a movie. I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that. I was thinking about doing stuff like that, but after the recommendations of movies I've been getting, you're all idiots. I don't want any of your suggestions because your suggestions for movies suck. Okay? They suck. Licorice Pizza, The Lighthouse, Good Times, Uncut Gems. These movies suck. Anyway, that's my review of Good Time. Coincidentally, the one thing I didn't even have while watching this movie, a good time. Hey, you know what this movie should have been called? Okay, okay, hold on. Hey, A24. I have an idea on how you should label your movies. Okay, don't come up with these dumbass names. Just title your movies Empty, Pretentious, Hollow Movie number 1, Empty, Hollow, Pretentious Movie number 2, Empty, Hollow, Pretentious Movie number 3, and just do that. That should be the title of your movies. Because that title is a better description of your movies than anything else you can come up with. You're welcome, okay? That idea is for free because it's a better way of naming your movies. From now on, anybody says, "Oh, there's this movie from A24," I go, "Oh, you mean Empty, Hollow, Pretentious Movie number 4, number 5? Wait, which one is it?" God. Anyway, I'm done. I'm spending more time reviewing this movie than I did actually putting effort into watching this movie. I'm done. I'm out of here. See ya. Christ.